Close the short. Bang, 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 baby. Let's go. Take that money when it's in your face. Learn how to pay yourself. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifers Show, baby. 8 minutes to count down, and we're going to rip it through. Can't wait to see each and every one of you. Thank you for jumping on in. God bless the lifers, baby. God bless the lifers. Shout out to you all. I love you all, baby. I love you all. You can't lose when you live in love, baby. Love is the strongest frequency in the game. Just realize where we are. What's Janine, the camera. Janine, where's my production assistant? Janine. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for coming on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. You know, see how I segued that in and made a fake person that doesn't exist? Janine doesn't work here. There's no one named Janine. But you know what? The point is to make you laugh. And when you got a drum and a laughter, you can say anything. Like, look, I like turtles. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby, as we are edging on, 993, 7 more to 1,000 episodes. Unbelievable. Shout out to everyone here. There's some people who have seen every 1,000. I've gone up to people. They've met me in the street. Not many, I'm just saying. I've met probably 30, 40 people that have seen me, and I went to Miami, and usually at Bitcoin events. I'm not trying to say I'm famous, all right? I didn't want to make that sound weird or cringe, like, look at me. But, and they be like, I've watched every single episode. Love the suit on a Sunday evening. Shout out to Grace Protocol. God bless you. Thank you for jumping on in. There are a million Bitcoin on exchanges. What supply shock? Shout out to MH7. Nicely done, Sammy, right? You like that? Ragnar Chinkor. I love it. I seen some really big turtles today at the zoo. It happens, right? They have some big ones. They got some big ones. Shout out to anyone that may or may not have traded AKRO with me. We took gains of 180% gains. Okay? And now I'm building a BLZ short. It's not going perfect right now. It is down, but I'm putting a small amount, $33 at 10x leverage. And I may raise the leverage and the amount of money as I see the price action start to fall into my flavor. But shout out to anyone that shorted AKRO. Let's talk about AKRO and let's break it down. Why was I into AKRO? What was I doing? Well, I put my money where my mouth is, number one. I talked about this in front of everyone. Who here remembers me breaking this down? Who here thinks I'm a nice guy to give free setups all the time? Anybody? Am I the only one? Who here thinks it's unfair and I shouldn't be giving so much away? Hope you had a great day, Sammy. Shout out to Patrick Leishman. Shout out to Crypto Bellico. Shout out to Lot Mo Crypto. I need a lot more crypto, man. I need a lot more. That's what it is, right? That's what when I see your name, I think I need a lot more. I got a lot of crypto, but I need a lot more. They call me Lot Mo Crypto, baby. Shout out to Grace Protocol. Tag you on Twitter on the FTX News. Your notifications happening in a few days. We need your technicals first, the news. Yeah, they say they're going to sell off billions of dollars. We've talked about it here. You know what I mean? We'll take it one day at a time, one step at a time. I took the BLC short on the demo. I'm tired of giving my money away. I need practice. It's all good. How's your day going, and how's the wifer? I hope she's doing well. At least you did it on the demo. The more you give, the more you get. You just help people change their lives over here. No big deal. Did you notice the start of football was a drop? By the end, bam, through the roof. Pay attention when others are distracted. Bam, through the roof. Pay attention. Kind of. Yeah, something. Did you notice was a drop by the end? Oh, for like Bitcoin possibly? Anyway, when price action gets high and away from the 21, it comes back and revisits the 21-day moving average. And so once you get this high and you find a bearish div on a big time frame, you can open up a short and begin to hold on and begin to just get paid and make 189% gains or more. You know what I mean? Like you can just really maximize, especially a big fall like that. And today we had a really nice drop for AKRO. And it, to me, says that it will likely fall further to the downside. The 4-hour just getting started. Why did I leave the short? Well, looking at the 15-minute and the 7, they started to, flatten out on the RSI. I got a bullish divergence even on my indicator here, and I just decided I was also being greedy, and I took gains. I rode this whole thing down. I took the gains. However, look, the 4-hour has broken below the 200 SMA. If it stays below that, and we kind of come up here and double top or something, it's very likely that we fall further to the downside here. Almost like we broke back inside this falling wedge for AKRO. To Bitcoin like we do every single Sunday night and, the special thing that we do every single Sunday. And I've been working on my lungs. I was in the pool recently, holding my breath, going back and forth from one side of the pool to the next. No, I've been doing that since I was a kid. I don't want to pass out one day, and make sure there's someone around and all that. But I hold my breath, I go back and forth. I could do a long pool. I can usually go there, back, like a regular size Olympic pool, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. But, one at your, YMCA, I can go there, and back. Almost, I think a few times I've done the 5. I'm usually gasping for there, but it's pretty good. I mean, more than most people I see, but I've been working on it for a long time. I think that helps with the weekly close. I believe it's having some type of effect on it. I don't know about you guys. You tell me. So today was a day, started off with some low vibration, but eventually kind of began to get lifted out. Still was a day of struggle. Still was a day of thought. Buddy, my daughter's birthday is the same as my dad's. She was born on my father's birthday. My dad has passed. So it's interesting as we get ready to celebrate her birthday, it does remind me, and not to, I'm still so happy. What a beautiful birthday. It's amazing. But it's just like, wow, it just hits you. It hits you in the gut, Hits you right in the Gustavos. So we're going to look at our weekly levels. We're going to break down the weekly. Let's take a look. I'm looking for a clean place. Kraken. Let's take a look, everybody, like we shall, with the moving averages. First of all, I'm bearish because we're below the 200 SMA. We need to flip back above that to remain bullish. So until we do, it's more likely that a short will play out. Okay? Period. Just remember that. Remember that. Crypto Lifer told you. All right? At the same time, I'm a trend guy, and we wanted to see if this candle would close below the trend. It did. And now you have a first weekly candle. See these closed here? These did not close below. Clearly. This weekly candle clearly did. At the dotted line, you can see we closed down here. That's lower than the dotted line I'm at. We have closed the weekly candle below the previous low. So, an omen for a downtrend on a bigger time frame. Is the weird thing about it all is the daily still does not have a lower low. The daily still has a higher low, so the daily's still in an uptrend, which is, I've never went against that. Usually the biggest time frame, though, is the one you want to heed. At the same time, the weekly has some really strong support here, and even where these wicks kind of met here in this area, so we shall see. We'd have to break this level and fall to this level. See, everyone gets crazy bearish. I just say, okay, fine. We could fall to here, 25, and then we have to break this low of this wick. So far, this is the low, this is the high, this is a higher low, and really in a weird frame, Anyway, let's break it down. Let's talk about Bitcoin and the weekly candle close. Gonna go down on that one. I almost lost it on that one. I'm probably red-faced. That was a toughie. Let's take a look at the weekly candle close and see what happened. Bitcoin opened at $25,969.40. The high was $26,487.70. The low is $25,385.20. The candle would close at $25,830, and the entire week we would lose $139.40. 0.54%. Not much movement on the week. The candle would actually look pretty bullish. It's basically what I call an indecision doji with a bunch of, basically the same amount of wick on either side. when I see downward motion into an indecision, it usually does mean that we could get a reversal. You know what I mean? Because why aren't we continuing such strong downward motion? So, I feel like if it's not it would be better if it was basically a bearish hammer, So we shall see. We'll see, but so far already the weekly candle hugging 25.8, and you know how important those other areas are. And I can use any chart I want. We could break it down. We already see the weekly areas on the USD chart here for Coinbase. And let's take a look. Now I'll just do it again. It's the weekly. I'll do it on Kraken, which is the one I never use, and we'll leave this one. So here we go. What I like to do is use these cool green bars. And then label them. Remember, by holding control, you can get everything you need. You see what I'm saying? By holding control, you can just grab another piece of something that you want. All right. Remember, this is the weekly. Tonight, we spent a lot of just time going over big macro stuff for Bitcoin. That's what Sunday night's about. We go over the S&P 500. We take a look at the DXY. We just kind of get ready for Monday so we don't wake up tomorrow blindsided, right? We go to sleep with our subconscious mind already building kind of what trades we should or should not be in, possibly based on probability. And we can go to bed at night knowing that we've done our due diligence on a Sunday night. And that's why we hear every single Sunday night. That's the key to this, to keep my students disciplined, to keep people in the group that want to stay as sharp as a tick. Ticks aren't that sure. As sharp as a tack, here. Bitcoin's stuck at 28.01 on Kraken. I don't know if this is actually are they doing maintenance? Now it makes me want to not use this chart. What's going on? Yeah, it's moving here. Anyway, then you take this price note and it will just give you where you're at. I place them more catered towards the bottom of these. Okay, so we have resistance 31.5. We fell through 28.3, right? And there was some, we came here, previous resistance 25.5. We've been bouncing off that area for a while. If we lose that, there's 24.369. That's a shallow area. Keep a thin line. If we lose 24.369, I guess 23.7, and then it's 21,900. That's just a kind of also point of control sticking out here on the weekly, where you could act, it's 20,200. Just something to think about. Also, we haven't looked at the CME in a while. Let's take a look at that, right? Let's not be blindsided. Is there a gap somewhere that we haven't looked at? Just something to bring up, okay? So we look at Bitcoin, and the way to do this is hit BTC, and right here, futures, CME. This is going to have the gaps in it, all right? We identified gaps last time. There's a gap up here at 34.9, all right? Look, there's a gap. See the gap right there? Now, if you didn't identify that gap and you didn't understand why we went up so fast to 29,000, so let's take this here and let's take a look. Let me get rid of my fibs so it's not so messy for a second. This line, and we'll even get rid of this. Where are the gaps? There's a gap there. It was filled by this candle. So the closest, nearest gap in the CME is right here, between 27.5 and 28.9. And there's a high volume node here. And for some reason, we've been stuck up here and we're all oversold. Everyone is bearish. Okay, so just another thing to think about here. We're going to lower this down into the gap. And it's a pretty wide gap. It's got a big area. But that's our next gap for the CME, all right? I'm just, I haven't seen many people, people forget about the gaps. Haven't brought it up in a while. And my team, we should clip this out and just throw it out there. Music and all, just, hey, the next gap we see here, Everybody, when you're trading Bitcoin, I'll do it. Hi, my name is Samuel Price, Crypto Lifer. When you're trading Bitcoin. Hi, my name is Samuel Price, Crypto Lifer. I'm on YouTube with a... Hi, my name is Samuel Price, Crypto Lifer. I'm on YouTube with a live stream every single day. But I want to bring up some technical analysis. When you're trading Bitcoin, you have the, CME, okay? The Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And they're going to have futures going for Bitcoin. And what happens is they open and close Monday night, right? Friday through Sunday, right? And they don't have the same hours as Bitcoin itself, which is 24 hours. When that market opens and closes and Bitcoin makes a move, there's called a gap inside of price action because it has to pick back up, but it wasn't open at the time. You see the gap here? Now, 95% of gaps get filled, 5% don't. I'm not saying every gap has to get filled, but usually when you're close to a gap, you will fill it. So it's interesting here that we have a gap here. Now, it's been filled this way and that way, but it's still there. You know what I mean? It's still a chance that we could run through that gap again through the CME. Haven't seen any crazier gaps recently, though, that would take us further up or down, okay? And the next really big gap that hasn't been closed is above us at 34,900. These gaps don't really matter as much because, look, they've been closed. But this gap up here is an interesting gap to look at because you can see it hasn't been closed. No candle has gone through this gap yet. So you have to kind of keep an eye on 34,900 and this area kind of where it begins at 34.6 and where it ends maybe at about 34.9 because that's just a key area where you may have to, where Bitcoin would likely come up and close the gap, and it could do it pretty fast. Like it did this one. It came down and closed this gap and then ripped back up. This gap created a frenzy of a move for Bitcoin up and down really fast. So just wanted to put this out there, the CME gap, and show you, there's one here that we have ripped up through a few times, but every time we go through this area, we do go pretty fast, just something to mention. Look, there's a pretty fast candle up here, fast candle there, hugely fast candle there, fast candle there. So do we move, it says that there's basically an area where we move pretty fast, and we did it even kind of as we went through the gap here. So watching this area for Bitcoin, 28,750, and then watching up here on the CME gap as well. Watch me for more of excerpts like this and just, key little insights into trading Bitcoin and other assets throughout the world. I'd greatly appreciate it. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. I'll see you in the next live. All right, cool. Thank you so much. Someone must have given some memberships or something. Something's happening out there. Let's take a look at the fan funding and just thank you so much for doing that. Whoever did it, you guys are amazing. 5 crypto memberships, 1 crypto membership, and my man wants Caspa, and it's his first super chat. Telling you right now, I've never seen such a channel that almost every day now we have someone giving their first super chat. That tells me every day we have new people on the channel. Every day we have new people. Someone's telling, hey, there's a guy that someone's telling their friends, family, and they're coming into the live, man. God bless you, man. Thank you for being here. Let's highlight these awesome people yet again. My man, Ryan Foshog, right? Ryan Foshog. Thank you so much for asking about Caspa, one of my favorite coins. GF Burke, who is always supporting the channel, even works with the channel, comes up with ideas on the back end. God bless you for everything, you and your family. And maybe a Band-Aid gifted 5 crypto memberships. You didn't have to do that. God bless you for doing such a nice thing for me and the lifers. Nicholas jumps in. Jao, my man. Timmy, 313, maybe a Band-Aid, just throwing it down. Shout out to all the lifers out here. MVP, Dizia, my man. Brian Blumstein, whose world is this? Creating Bell, my man. Lakochi Coker, Lifer Adam, Love Learning. Jamie, if you're out there, he's probably asleep, though. It's 5 a.m. in that time of the world over there. Bro Tip in the house. So many amazing people. Mike Bryant in the house. Doge Digger in the house. I see a lot of green in the house. Chaos Trading in the house, my man. Peter Eckel, Dow Jones, D Shuffle, Baby G Ham City. Crypto Cockatoo holding it down. Legos the Lifer. Lotmo Crypto. Kyle Vero, Timmy, 313. We love you, Timmy. Holding it down, baby. And Dow Jones. All right, baby. Prayer from Morocco, man. Yeah, prayers from Morocco. They got hit. What is it, an earthquake? Or could it be, I'm sorry, I should know, right? I read something very fast. Usually I do remember. So, an earthquake, right? Something happened there. But let me know so I don't look silly. Shout out to a dingo in the house. Shout out to David Kennedy in the house. My man DK holding it down. Shout out to Paul Cockrell, Jason Riggs. My man. You said my last name perfect. Nice. Cool, see? See, I have a way with language, man. Amazing, right? Probably so many people ruined your name, right? And you look at them like, nah, it's not, you know. They're like, Fashanaga. And you're like, oh, man, come on, man. It's Foshog, man. Like, Faisal Salim, my man, thank you for jumping on in. It could be Faisal. It'd be cool if it was Faisal. Vitality B gifting 10 memberships. Unbelievable. Crypto, Bitcoin, red candles on the 1 minute DCA. Wendy's pop-up said something about Vitalik hack. Yeah. I think it's Twitter, so stay away from Vitalik's Twitter. Shout out to everyone gifting memberships, man, and jumping on in. Look at the sea of green. The sea of green. Let's take a big sip of the lemon water. Stay hydrated. He's like, BLZ dumping. Little bit, not too bad, but yeah, it hit the 200 SMA, see? Rejection. It's a great place to begin a short right there at the 200 SMA, okay? Bearish div too, I mean, it's all there for you, you know? We'll break it down. We're going to have more fun with that later on. It's Bitcoin's turn, though. So we did the CME, all right? We got that. Now let's look at our levels now for Bitcoin on the weekly. If Bitcoin loses this, we come back, and we did it again, but we'll do it again for anyone who jumped on in. So if Bitcoin loses these key levels that we're looking at now, which honestly, with all these wicks, there's a lot of buy pressure, and I'm also going to show you something else that we're holding on to that's really interesting to me. And until we lose that, I remain bullish, and I'm going to explain why. But anyway, we're going to get into all what I see, short-term, long-term, you know, theories, ideas, and we are going to have such a good time tonight, don't worry. If we lose 25,452, we are going to tussle with 24,400. That's just what's going to happen. It's so likely. There's no other candle closes there on the weekly that matter. We lose this level, it's 21.9. We lose 21.9. We're tussling with this point of control at 20,350. And then, you know, we can talk about that. So once we get to here, we can discuss all these other levels, right? And that's why it's like, you know, and maybe we fall fast into this level. So like, but so the really key levels that I care about right now or have to pay attention to are 24,000, right? And 21.9. Like nothing else really, you know, is really close enough that I believe will hit with, you know, but you never know. I'm open-minded. Anything could happen. We go all the way down to here tomorrow. Like I'm just being honest. Like anything could happen. We go all the way up here tomorrow. You have to be so open-minded, but you also have to know that the odds of those things are just unlikely, okay? Is this an M pattern with bearish div, right? That's what a lot of people see. And they're saying this is just, you know, a beefed up rally and we're on our way to the downside, right? So you're hearing this and there's 7K, 8K, the NASDAQ's going down, we're in a recession. You're hearing a lot of this, all right? What I will tell you is when you're in the middle of a VRVP, usually you do travel to the next zone. So like you've lost this node, you're likely to come to this node. So like I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Bitcoin somewhere at 21,009, 22,000 area, you know what I mean? Just, you know, but it doesn't have to happen, okay? It's not a guarantee. But we are in between in a fair value gap there, and you're likely to come to find the best liquidity zone. And honestly, it could be one of these. And it probably will likely maybe even look like one of these on the weekly. Like it could be a fast move. So limit orders for Bitcoin are smart to have. I could keep, you know, start layering 18 up to 23,000 just in case. You know what I mean? Just I'm smart about it. Just be like, hey, you never know, Sammy. What I like about doing that too is it tells me that I don't know. When I set limit orders, because my mind's like, what are you doing? And you have a conversation subconsciously with yourself. You have conversations that you don't even have. They happen in nanoseconds and they affect you. That's why when you do the right thing, it's important, because when you're not, you're having all these negative nanosecond conversations that are devouring you. I just blew your mind, but I'm telling you, that's the power of the subconscious mind. You want to take advantage and take control of the subconscious mind. When you sleep tonight, you want to basically be disciplined about what you dream about. You want to write things down every night. 369 theory. Wake up, say the same thing 3 times that you want to accomplish. Write it down 6 times in the middle of the day and write it down 9 times before you go to sleep. Stay on that goal, stay on that idea, right? All right. Anyway, Bitcoin dropping $100 already. Let's get out of this and talk about why I believe Bitcoin is bearish for the short term right now. And but these are the key levels of support and resistance to watch. one thing I also want to talk about, but if we always stay in the short term, we never get to see the bigger picture too. All right. But one thing that's important here is this too. Swing up to swing up with a massive swing down. Now, it doesn't have to be, but it's just a very rare signal that you don't see a lot. Okay. And I just want to, I had this bigger, the RSI bigger, because I knew I was going to accentuate this. But the idea is, this is a hidden bullish divergence. And until once price comes down here and breaks this low and comes down here, it's over. It won't be, then it will be negated. And if the RSI goes below the dotted line, and then we just keep following down. So, for now it's there. Is it guaranteed to be there? No. For now it's there. Are we in a big channel? Is Bitcoin in some giant channel? You never know, right? I never saw this before. I'm always with you guys, just sharing where my brain is taking each and every one of us on this journey of technical analysis with a little bit of creativity as we follow through the zone and follow where we're going together. And that's what I love about the channel. Every day I never knew who's going to super chat. I never knew who's going to show up. I never know exactly what's going to happen. We never truly know how the channel is going to fly. 461 beautiful souls in the live, 212 likes. And you got to stay positive every single day of your life, because that's all you have is your life. And if you use any negativity towards the only thing you have, what are you going to do for the rest of everything else that's coming at you? It's not going to be a good look. It's going to be hard to survive. So staying positive and disciplined is the first thing in the bag of tricks that we all need to use to keep ourselves moving. From there, we can continue to grow and learn and push ourselves to the next level, right? So from this morning, I've been short. We've talked about it, right? Last night, we were short, right? And this looks like a descending triangle to me, right? That could break to the downside. Let's see what's going on. I obviously didn't trade Bitcoin. I traded AKRO. It just looked so bearish to me, like it was going to continue to fall to the downside, and it eventually just continued to do so, right? So let's talk about it. So here's a short. It played out with this wick all the way to this area at 25,568. You move the stop loss to either break even or into profit. And then that, took care of itself at one point. Let's take a look at what's happening now. Extend this line. Extend this. Same pattern. Nothing has changed, right? Same rejection at the key areas, 25,952. Couldn't get above it. We wicked back above it not too long from now to 26. We tricked some bunch of longs, and they're thinking, oh, we broke above the key area. It's a Sunday night, right? It was a Sunday night. We were about to close the candle in about an hour and 40 minutes. 6:15 Sunday night. They made people, volatility on a Sunday night. Watch it rip back up to the upside. Be careful trading. Now that we get into Sunday night and Asian markets open at 8 p.m., it's another reason why I closed my trade kind of right at the beginning of the live, because that's when things start to kind of get crazy. Now, it looks like the trade still actually would go further into profit. Maybe AKRO is just getting dumped on. But regardless, for me, it's good to take profit and not have to deal with volatility if I don't need to, right? So let's take a look at this. Even if we make this a true, it looks more like a falling wedge, but to me, it does have some descending triangle vibes. It really does. You can almost bring these candles here and it just has some bearish vibes to me. And I could be 100% wrong, right? But we've been pretty good together since Bitcoin was at about 7,000, and I was calling it to go to 27,000. Who here was watching my channel when I called Bitcoin to go to 27,000 from $6,000? Anyone out here? Is there anyone out here tonight? I can get you always have my like, lifer. Thank you for having a grind. That's contagious. Keep up the good work, man. Hello. Look at the pretty colors in the chart. I know, right? I'm going to redo my Binance chart now from scratch. just because it's you know, weekly. And we're getting a dump. Let's talk about the dump. 1 hour time frame's overbought. 1 hour's been amazing to trade recently. Stochastics have been spot on. If you just done what the stochastics told you to do, like right now, stochastics are overbought. They're telling you to short the market. What's happening? We're getting a dump to the downside. So what I see is a descending triangle of some type that just wants to take a nice dump to the downside. And I see price action that just cannot get above key areas. The more you reject key areas, the more that you dump further down, right? So we know we have a major resistance at 26,444 right there, right? That's like, you know, until we even get above 25,009, like we don't even have to think about it, right? So now it's the liquidations. And if you jump in now, you still might get paid technically on the short, but you have to have the right mentality and know that there could be a bounce on the smaller time frame. But the 1 hour does want to dump you to the downside. So again, the idea is it's heavy volatile though. But the idea is to do, you know, a trader may enter the trade here to take us to the measured move. That's very likely to happen based on the 1 hour time frame. 15 minutes very oversold though, so it looks to me like you're either going to fall down, bearishly retest as these stokes come back up. So watch your stochastics and price action. And the stokes will come back up. You'll bearishly retest, hit this hangout, make some type of bear flag. If that curves, that will be a great entry on the short for the 15 minute, and the 1 hour will carry you through with momentum. Okay. But there's a chance that we get a bounce here right now, but then and that's when you trade the double top M. We did this the other night. We called out the M before it happened. The 15 minute gave you the entry, bang, 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 and then the short played out to the downside, right? So be careful. Some nights they'll go up and they'll just liquidate a bunch of people on a wick, come down and then dump the price. So that's why it's treacherous to trade on a Sunday night. You could be one of the liquidated. That's why the best thing is to wait for a retest here. Boom. You know? Because what you're doing is you're kind of circumventing what they're doing without realizing it. Like you're beating the algorithm by just doing a discipline. That's what the key is of all this. All right? You just lost the point of control. Remember that. When you lose the point of control, you're more likely to fall down to the value area low at 25.3 and lower. All right? So that's the bearish scenario. Is there a bullish scenario that I'm not seeing? Can I play my devil's advocate twin here and look at the price action again, erase everything that I've done, and is there a bullish thing? Are we bullish and I'm just not seeing it? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. The daily's in some indecision, and to me also carrying through a feeling of a descending triangle. Shout out to Ernest Lee. God bless you, man. Hope you're safe and everyone's well with you. Thank you. God bless you for the $9.99. Thank you so much. My fault, I know, but they got me along with a different... interesting. I don't know what's going on. Devin, I love you. I hope everything's all right with that 2FA, man. Lost my Google FA on Mac. See, now I got to... Yikes. You know what I do? I'll be honest. Here's a trick. He just mentioned something. Pause this and let's put this out to the trading group or to the world. Everybody. You're using... Thank you. Everybody, you're using 2FA. Everybody, you want to be safe with your cryptocurrencies. There's always something going on. There's always stories of people, losing their crypto in many different ways. You want to be safe. And one way you can do that is by using 2FA. But people do end up losing their access to 2FA, and that causes other issues. You don't want that to happen as well. So recently, I had a bunch of 2FA in my old phone, and I needed to get a new phone. It was time. I went to the store. I got a new phone. I kept the old phone. They said, we'll give you $800, send it in, but it will come off. I said, you know what? I'm just going to take the new phone and not do that. I'm going to hold the old phone, put that in a safety deposit box, lock it up. And what you can do is you can transfer all of the old 2FA QR codes from one phone, you know, you can open the app and scan, and they cross right over. They cross right over. I've done it many times. Now you have a backup. If you lose your phone, something happens, you can then go still get into every account you have with another backup of your 2FA. These are interesting things no one's told me or taught me. I found out on my own, and they work really, really well. You can also you can take this Trezor right here. You can take your Trezor Touch, this right here, and turn it into what's called a FIDO key or a security key to get into your Gmail account. And that way, no one will be able to get into your Gmail until they have one of these. So there's many ways to stay above the rest, because when they hack people, they're going to go after the weaker person. They're going to go after the person that's doing the easiest, you know, that makes it easy on them. Clicks on an email, does something. If you begin to fortify yourself more than the average person, like way more, like 1% of the world is using a FIDO key on their Gmail account or something small, and then backing up. I've never heard of people really backing up their 2FA, but people do it. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's figured it out. So make yourself available to yourself to stay safe. You know what I mean? Write down some things. If you're going to be in crypto, be responsible. This is Sam Price, Crypto Lifer. Over, out. Watch me on the next live stream and get some more tips today. All right, cool. We can use that probably. That's another good segment. Busting out segments, team. Make sure we're writing these down and getting these out. Make sure they don't go into the air and disappear. One of the best in the game, too solid, my brother. Shout out to the Jordan Allen, my man. Thank you. Ernest Lee, we love you. Okay. All right, here's the deal. So, is there anything bullish that I'm not looking at? That was the key area. So, we're in a falling wedge. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. Like we could say this is the falling wedge, right? Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. The daily could come down a little more and we could just bounce. 22-hour could come down a little more and we could bounce. Wow, look how weird the 22-hour looks, though. It's been so spacey. Price action's been so insane lately. 4-hour time frame doesn't have much more to come down, but could it come on down? You're looking for the bearish retest if it really dumps. And like, if you dump, where are you going? I mean, you'd have to say that you got a length of your, you know, you'd have to say that you'd be on your way to 22,237, right? I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just pointing out that's the measured move if it does happen. The 1 hour wants to take us down. Let's see what happens. So it's all about, like, you know, breaking the trend line. We really haven't broken it yet, but if we come down bearish retest, I mean, there's not a lot stopping us from making a lower low here. So let's watch this 1 hour, but the 1 hour is very bearish. Wants to continue to push us further to the downside for Bitcoin. All right. So yeah, I mean, I tried to be bullish again, and I just don't see it. You know, I'll be bullish if we get back above 25,930. Right? We break up real high and then come down and retest it, or we come out and retest it, or we just break up real high and retest this level, these two levels. Then okay, I'll take it. You know what I mean? But if we don't do that, then I see no reason to be bullish. You know, I'll scalp. I'm not saying I'm not going to scalp along, but I just see no reason to be bullish. All right. So that makes me want to just kind of, you know, put this away here in a little group, bring my old group back. And so, yeah, I mean, I see a descending triangle, everybody, that wants to break to the downside. I really, really do. And I see key levels of resistance that Bitcoin just can't get above, that I won't long until we get above them. It's pretty simple to me. You don't have to think about it. You don't really have to think about anything else. You keep it very simple, okay? You can learn 100 other things, and it's good to know. But trust me, like, this is just likely to break to the downside in the long, and you know, by probability wise. All right. The one way you could say it is no, it's a falling wedge. It's gonna break back up like this, and boom. And remember that 3-day does have hidden bullish divergence, so that's, you know, I do have some macro bullishness there that I'm holding on to. And so again, I'm not fully bearish until I see key levels break. And I'm not fully bullish until I see key levels break. Right now, we are in chop. But I will tell you what, that we are more bearish than bullish because we continuously can't get back above a key area of resistance. And remember, you know, you want a short resistance. Look, that's a beautiful short right there. Because look, couldn't get above, couldn't get above, couldn't get above. Came to it, shorted. Simple stuff. You didn't have to know anything else. You didn't have to know fibs. You didn't have to know how to be the coolest guy in the room. You didn't have to study for years. All you had to know was how to short, support, and resistance. Look left and see that we had trouble here. And you've known, everyone knows that we've had trouble at 25.9, 25.930 area, right? It's just been a pain in the butt ever since the 8th, right? For 2 days now. We've had some problems with it here back on the 2nd, and even back there on the 4th. And we used it as support strongly here. For days, we bounced off of it. So we've been tussling with it really since the 19th of August. We've gotten to know this level very, very well. 25.9. Right? It'll be the demise, or it'll be the rise. It's going to make or break us. It's the level to watch. Write it down. 25.930 really is the key level that we're battling for the last few days. And there's even a POC here, right? 25.850 now. It'll move depending on how much liquidity we give it, but right there it's about 25.850, 864. And it's right on time with our range of areas. And we lost it right there. And once we lost it, we dropped. So I'm putting out a call to be bearish on the 1 hour time frame, just waiting on the 15-minute to either drop even lower, make a bearish retest, and then that's where we long a short, or to come up here, make a double top. If it breaks through all this and we liquidate the short, so be it. Boom. So we don't open the short yet. We open the short when the 15-minute tells us to. It's going to do one of two things. The 15-minute has three choices right now. It's going to bounce back to the upside, which is likely based on the stochastics. And you can be like, well, why? You're like, well, let's go over the last few times we were this low. Here we were low. We kind of bounced up, but we didn't do too. Yeah, we're here. Fine. Here's the last time we were really low, like right here. We did bounce up nicely, one. And we came down, we rounded, and we got low again. And let me open this up. I'm looking at when the stochastics got near the dotted line, curved, right? We got a pump there. Here we got low, just went sideways, but still went up a little bit. Here we got a low, and we did get a pump. And even if you're bearish, you'll just get a pump that will be lower. So you just want to see the 15-minute pump again and then not get above the previous high. And that's going to be a beautiful indication to short the market. And there's a chance that the 15-minute just decides to get pushed by the momentum down. And when it eventually, it'll slop here, but it eventually will push back up. When it does that, it'll retest one of these two areas, and that's going to be the beautiful place to short too. So we already know exactly how to enter this short, and we know the indications that we're looking for and how to do it. All right? And that's how you trade. You should know exactly what you're going to do before you do it, and then you can just simply take your risk-reward ratio at these key levels and find out where your stop's going to be, where, and you can begin to kind of build how you'd like to trade the trade. This obviously would be a way better entry than that. It would give you even more, risk course reward, but it all depends. And so I teach you how to attack the market every single day. And if I was bullish, I'd be like, okay, let's wait for this bullish boom, boom. But and I know that if we do flip through and bounce, then that would be the key area to long. But it's so unlikely because we have so much trouble getting back above. And whenever I've seen that in my lifetime on any asset, technical analysis taught, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Bitcoin, gold, silver, Kmart, Walmart. I don't care. Adidas. You know what I mean? Blockbuster, for crying out loud. Radio Shack. I don't care what it is. Betty Crocker, Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg. Funny how when I think of Martha Stewart now, I think of Snoop Dogg. Isn't that funny? Who would have ever thought that she reminds, because, it's like the dude became such a household name, Snoop Dogg. So yeah, you would expect a bounce here back to the top of the channel here for the 15-minute. And that's what we're seeing for Bitcoin, all right? Funny, could it make a right shoulder? And you see that. I'm always watching. But yeah, I told I think everybody understands that I'm bearish in how I want to attack the short later on tonight. Okay. Preferably up here for a double. If it doesn't, oh my God, if it comes up here and makes an M, sorry, oh my goodness, but if it comes in here and makes an M and we double top, I mean, that's going to be so beautiful. It did this exact thing the other night, and we called it very similarly. I think it was right here. I'll just show you. See, like, we were here. I was going to bed, and I was like, listen, like, we had short of the market, and the morning began. And we're like, all right, it's probably going to break back up this falling wedge, but look for it to make an M pattern. I said, if it makes an M here, short it, and if these Stokes come back up, short, and then take those Stokes down and like take the short, right? And lo and behold, it made the M. The Stokes came up. You rode the Stokes to the downside. See? And it's such a beautiful way to trade. All right. You got to take profits. You see the reversals there, and that's weekend trading too, and treacherousness, but just be careful, If you understand how we do it and you take in one step at a time, you're going to get the skills and the confidence to do what we do every single day here on the channel and people in the group. Like, how do they make 189% gains on a Sunday? Believe you me, if I told myself that my past self 5-6 years ago that even the way I was just, even though I'd made some gains too, investing, speculative investing, and I'm not a financial advisor or an investment advisor, I'll make that clear. Nothing I do and say in this channel should be taken as financial advice. It's for strictly educational purposes only, and just, for entertainment. Look, there's so much liquidity down here. Bitcoin wants to dump, and BOOKAP says yes. BOOKAP saying, yo, we're going to 24.9. Get ready, because we're on our way down. So I see a big short to the downside for BOOKAP. It just looks highly likely. All right. And we just, if you want to be precise in how we enter it, I explained what time frames to use, and how I see the 1 hour beginning this party to the downside. All right. And there's a chance that we don't dump. There's a chance that somehow we hold off here. This is a low. This is a high. This is a higher low. As long as we can hold, then I assume we put in a higher high. And Bitcoin comes for that 26,264. All right. So only time will tell. But if the 15-minute drops here or makes an M, then I know at least there's going to be a short tonight of some type. And you don't have to trade at all, too. We could trade tomorrow. But BOOKAP is screaming liquidity to the downside, and it's not always right. Sometimes I've seen us rip up and this disappear. Right? And that guy was at 25,000 all week, and he never got actual 25K, right? Probably the same dude, right back at it again, beginning the fear for the week, seeing if he can push the price down to his fancy to get the orders that he wants. 747, 957, about 1,800 Bitcoins, and a couple 300 there on the side too. About 2,100 Bitcoins want to be gobbled up in that area at 24.8, 24.9, $25,000 Bitcoin. All right. That's BOOKAP, link in the description below. Jump into the BOOKAP. Also, if you're planning for the future, ITrust Capital is absolutely amazing. There's a QR code link in the description below. What is ITrust Capital? Why would I even talk about it? Well, they are a sponsor of the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate them. But what they do is you can move your IRA into their IRA, Roth IRA or an IRA, whatever you have. You can contact them. They'll do the proper paperwork, help you along the way. You'll be able to shift whatever you have into their IRA, and you can actually hold cryptocurrency in there, gold and silver, and have options you didn't have in other IRAs. It's pretty cool. I find it basically kind of breathtaking, to be honest, and amazing. And there's a lot of tax-free things that you can do. So I think it's amazing, and it's something that you could take advantage of today, or at least find out. ITrust Capital, hit the link or the QR code. And they also support the lifer, so why wouldn't you support them if they support the lifer? So they go and hang out with the right channel at the right time, man, baby. Shout out to ITrust Capital. So expecting a bounce here on the smaller time frames for Bitcoin. We're getting it now, right? And then if we can get the M pattern and the rejection, the short is on. If we get above that rejection point, we'll look for the retest and the long. what will happen is they'll they'll go after whoever decides to trade anyway, and they'll liquidate them all. And then we'll make some type of pattern here. Again, we'll leave the 21-day moving average. I'll say, hey, we're too far from the 21. When we kiss the 21, we'll think of a long, and we'll take the long. We know exactly how to trade, and my lifers know exactly how the moving averages move with price action. My lifers don't freak out, right? Who's here and doesn't freak out since they became a lifer? Who used to freak out, now that they're a lifer, they don't freak out anymore? Who used to freak out before they became a lifer, now that they're a lifer, things make sense. They don't overreact. They don't bug out. Hey, can somebody throw a super chat for me? Hey, ID coin might be pumping soon. ID on MEXC, space ID. Daily's a little high, resistance. Every once in a while thinks I'm making love to my wife. This music, it's like, no. So I'm sorry, I'm just making a joke, but seriously. Ridiculous. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. But the music was just like, come on, man. Like, that's not, you know. Yeah, ID looks pretty interesting on the 4-hour time frame for a bit of a move here. Daily still has some legs, but not amazing. 22 could be scooping back up to the 200 SMA. I got you. ID may make a move. Thank you for putting that out there on our radar. And I look at the chat, and it's funny. Everyone says that I engage with the chat more than other YouTubers, right? I think more other YouTubers are like, they come out and it's like, it's about me and what I, you know, blah, 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 whatever. I don't actually know what they do. I love them all. But this channel is really about me learning from you guys. So I need to read the chat. Last time I got all the awesome picks and I knew about all the best altcoins because I paid attention. Some were super chats, but sometimes people just wrote something in and I was like, what is that? What did you write down? And I wrote it down. I did my research. Sometimes no one noticed it but me, and then I brought it up. And the guy would be like, hey, I told you about that weeks ago. And I'm like, yeah, but no one noticed. You know, yeah. So I got so much information from the chat. So I love reading the chat because if I don't, I'm not going to get the information that I need, right? So, hey, Sam, can you take a look at ACH? Thank you, brother. Shout out to Mike Bryant in the house. All right. So Bitcoin struggling to hold 25.7. We'll see what happens here. ID does look interesting. Low, high, higher, low. Can it make a higher high? You know, the safe bet again is the retest. You got to watch smaller time frames and put in more work for the retest. But boom, and then you get a move. 3-hour looks really nice. 4-hour looks good to go. Right? 2-hour looks interesting. 1 hour's in. But the 2-hour looks like you're going to get a nice pop out of ID for sure to the upside. Watch for the retest. But yeah, I just did the Michael Jordan. Why do we hold our tongues when we concentrate? What's this? Why do we do that as humans? Because I'm not the only one. And black, white, Spanish, Asian, like, I feel like we all do it. From all walks of life. It's not like a race. It's like, it's not a culture thing. Why do we all do that? Right? Crypto Plumber banging on him. He was like, I was all over BLC, but couldn't nail AKRO. Look at that. 332, 268, 1,444, and 92. Banging on him. Crypto Plumber, man. Doing, and that means you're listening too. It's amazing. You're taking the teachings and taking it to a next level. These are the type of gains that beginners, like people that have been in the group a month, 2 months, begin to make. All right? In the trading group, everybody, this is not a lie. We didn't pay him to do this. It's a real person doing real things. He's probably here right now, and he will say, hey, that's me. I posted that. Shout out to Justin Cashmore in the house. Paul Cockrell and Stack McChange. Moses Alexander Cruz and Brian Blumstein and G-Boy Nakor. People do that when they're trying to kill the Mario boss. They bite their tongue. I know, right? Funny. Can you 100x MEXC from the US? You could do whatever you want if you know how to do it, man. Anyway. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. All right. So we've done Bitcoin. You kind of know where I sit with BTC. I don't think I have to really talk about it again. I believe the 50-minute, the chart conveys to me 50 minutes going to come back up, make some type of M pattern, get rejected, and then we can get a nice short to the downside. We might even lose it here first and then take a bearish retest. But I see somewhat of a descending triangle or even a falling wedge that could fail us either way. I see bearishness for Bitcoin unless we get back above this level and retest it. Then I'll change my tune. So I'm neither a bull nor a bear. I'm an advantageous opportunist. Looking at the charts, I'm like an entrepreneur. You're like, do you sell bananas or apples? You're like, we sell whatever the shipment brings more of and at the better price, right? So on the storefront, we say apples and bananas. You know what I mean? Like a true entrepreneur, like the definition of an entrepreneur is a human being that never stays still on one thing. Like the second you stay stagnant, your business is over. If you don't recreate the business, if you don't work at it, if you don't, I'm telling you right now, it's gone. And that's why it's every single day to be out here on your own. Either you have a job spoon-fed to you and it's all there, or you grind every single day for yours. And you can make it trading. You can make so much money. And even a newer person in a bull run, there's life-changing wealth out here if you position yourself at the right times. And I'm telling the people that are getting an education right here as the halvings coming into play, it's the best. You know, imagine getting this education, which some people did. Some people met me, and we were at 42, and they were like, I aped in at 69,000, and now I'm here. And I know I shouldn't have. And they're like, now I'm here to learn. Never forget what you made me accomplish in this life. Love you, brother. Shout out to PS5, Future of Gaming, man. We'll meet one day, and we'll go to dinner, and we'll talk about it, and we'll have a blast, man. And, you know, my life's work is to meet people like you and hear your story of how I've changed your life. And I go into my hotel room that night, wherever I am, because it's happened to me a few times now. And even at the screen share last night, I couldn't go to sleep. After hearing everyone's story and connecting with everybody so much, like, my vibration was so high, I was just unable to go to bed. I did not see a reason why I could sleep. You know, I was just like, I can't sleep. Anyway, let's see. Now, I wouldn't advise trading tonight. That's why I don't go so hard on altcoins. I go hard more on market analysis. Sam, can you please take a look at self-key? Maybe. We got some stuff to go over, though, here. Okay, so if you send in a super chat, TA deep dive, we could probably handle it. Let me know. So the DXY here, all right, showing this deep bearish div that is just so strong and just very likely to complete. Okay, and so far also kind of a shoulder, head, and shouldering, just looking horrible. Rising wedge, and the moving averages are far apart. So, and look, you're starting to, and you just lost the channel. Looks like to me like the DXY could begin its descent to the downside. All right. 12-hour is about to just dump on your face. So the 12-hour wants to start the dump to the 21. It's too far from the 21 anyway, which tells me that Bitcoin, you know, if you get that drop, it doesn't have to happen, but that just keeps Bitcoin from getting that, you know. So I would watch this because this tells me somewhere by, you know, tomorrow night into Tuesday, the dollar has made a descent back down to 104.16. That's a bold statement, but you heard it here first. There's a bearish div here on the 12-hour time frame. We've been honing in on this for weeks. We go over this every single day. Vitality B, thank you for KEY USDT. Let's take a look at KEY real quick. Self-key on MEXC or KEY. Is the key perpetual? On MEXC, is that cool? Or do you want self-key on Binance? Let me know. And we'll jump into Caspa while we're waiting there. We'll just jump into Caspa while we're waiting. XRP, the standard. All you need is XRP, the standard. I own XRP. I do. And I bought a little more recently, too. Just been a little more bullish on it. It's set up more SBI. It's connected to Japanese banks, more banks around the world. It was connected 4 to 5 years ago. I mean, what it's doing is amazing. Caspa is just getting ready, it looks like, for a big move to the upside. You know, I know I'm saying it, and you know, I'm like, well, he didn't get back in. What is he doing? But it does look to me like KEY.P could get a pump here. I mean, above the 200 SMA, golden cross, 2-hour time frame. However, it's done this before and looked super bullish, and everything looked great. And it had pumped back up and formed like a nice channel here. And it was like, yeah, it's going to blast, right? And it just, you know, decided to dump pretty hard. And so I've been looking at the bigger time frames, like I keep saying, everybody. Let's look at our 12-hour. 12-hour looks like you're about to dump, right? It's getting a little overbought. Not entirely. It's not the worst, actually. See some scoopage. But you're starting to get some higher time frame bearishness. Overbought on the daily as well. Still would see time, you know, price action want to come back down to that 200 SMA. Never even did that yet. Usually, look, you get a bounce off some of these moving averages. Eventually, you come down to that 200 SMA. Here, you bounce off the 50. Today, you're bouncing off near like the 80 and the 100. Now, I did draw this. There's a chance that this is what we're doing, and we do make a boom up, and we start to consolidate for a huge move up for KEY.P. All right. But I still got my fibs drawn, and I'm waiting to buy back in. I sold at 4.4. It did go down to like 3.6, you know, some low areas, and I did not buy back in. Went to all the way down to like 3.2, which is a lot lower than my buy. But I've been waiting on the 3-day chart to like do its full-blown dump. Right now, it's just kissing the 21. It kind of did that before it got close to it. Usually, it will break below, and then that's when we'll have our drop. But so far, I mean, it could be getting a huge move to the upside. So I am biased because I'm in a position, so I have to shake the bias off. And for me, it's just play it the way it's supposed to be played. I mean, that's bullish consolidation right there. Period. You know, that's not bearish. It broke above this resistance, bounced off of it, made a higher low, hit some resistance, multiple higher lows in a row. So you get, you know, if it can break out and retest 4.2, so like that would be a beautiful entry if you get the retest on a smaller time frame, and you get a move all the way up to 4.8 for Casper. It's starting, but if it barely retests, then you're down, you know. So I'd be watching this chart. The 4-hour has legs too, and the 15-minute kind of double topping here, right? Looks like it wants to come back down to the bottom of the pattern. So watch this, see if it can break out and catch a retest or something. It does look more bearish than bullish on the smaller time frames. So, and KEY.P could make its way all the way up into this next level at 5. And I'll be weeping because I didn't buy in on the lows. And there you have it. That's what happens. Okay? Would have been a good DCA moment right in that areas, but I was pompous, like, no, I know exactly where it's going to go. And honestly, there's a big chance that I'm still spot on. I'm just waiting out my turn. I'm just being patient. It usually doesn't take this long. Usually it takes a lot longer to get back in. It usually doesn't take just that long to get back in. 1 month. Usually it takes about 2.5. So we'll see. If KEY.P, this is a key level. If KEY.P breaks this level back up, 4244, and starts hanging out up here, I mean, there's a chance that it's going to consolidate and not make a low lower than that low, because it's showing signs of a bigger trend up. If it starts to have some trouble here and go sideways, boom. And if it breaks that low, then you know that I'll be able to get my price action. So this is going to be a key area that we're going to have to watch right now where we're at, honestly. Because you can see the significance of it on a macro and a micro level. So KEY.P looks bullish to me for a move to the upside based on just the time frames that we're looking at, the smaller ones. 1 hour looks okay. 15-minute needs to probably come down first and then boom. So KEY.P looks interesting. I would watch KEY.P for a possible move. And if Bitcoin makes a huge dump, this thing will just dump too, no matter how good it looks. And that will happen to almost every coin. It's weird. So just be careful. We went over ID as well, watching ID closely tonight. 4 hour time frame looks very interesting, like we could get a nice pump. It just broke back above its 200 SMA. That's a very bullish sign. When it breaks below, that's a nice bearish sign for a dump. It broke back above. You could likely get a nice pump here. So I'd watch ID on MEXC, given to us by a wonderful lifer. Thank you so much. ID, baby, on MEXC. I don't hold any. I'm not in the trade personally. It looks good to me, though. It looks interesting. So DXY, make a nice move to the downside, and that's what we're looking for. Key levels to watch. If it breaks above 105.10, then we know, and 105.60, then things are starting to change, and this kind of whole idea could be negated. All right. ES1, the S&P futures. Let's take a look. So the 12-hour also got a nice bounce here. Let's take a look. So the big picture here. We broke out. We pulled this fib here. Could you come down and retest the 618? There's a chance. Right now, you are being caressed by the 21, and the 4-day chart suggests that you're going to push up, right? Like you just touched it, you're about to pump again. So this, to me, looks like the S&P could go on a little bit of a pump here to the upside. Daily doesn't look amazing. Needs to possibly reset or go sideways for a while. Let's get rid of the moving averages for a second and zoom in here without all this gibble gabble. So isn't that funny? We made the falling wedge. You made perfect bullish divergence. Look at that on the 1 hour, like textbook. Like it doesn't get any better than that. Tells you to buy right there, and then the S&P has a huge pump to the upside, all the way from 44.28 to 40. Like I mean, $100 move in the S&P is pretty substantial, right? So now you got this wacky move here. Let's take a look. And it's funny, we had my twisted sister drawn. Are we taking the falling wedge or the sideways move? You eventually ended up at a similar place, which is funny, right? And this is just so we can kind of see the market tomorrow morning too. So, I mean, you're starting to make something like this here. And that's why I can't stand the regular markets. Look at those horrible gaps. Even in the futures markets, they get so many gaps. But, you would have to assume this would be like this. So, you're looking at something similar to this here. 1 hour looks more bullish, though. You could break on it, could change the scope. But you're looking to me something similar, or you're coming back down here. But you're looking at some nice bullish consolidation. NQ. NQ did the same thing. I expected the same. I would expect nothing less. It is a shoulder, head, and shoulder on NQ, and the 4 hour's a little high. See that? The 4 hour overbought there on the NQ. NQ might be somewhat a little uncorrelated. Now your daily's very overbought with a head and shoulder pattern. I mean, that like shoulder, head, shoulder. I mean, there's, right? I mean, kind of a neckline here. You would expect some type of breakdown. Like, unless you making, but that's just, that would be the hope of the dream, right? But it looks to me like you're going to take a move to the downside. You could scoot back up one more time, pump, double top. So it looks like I see some bearishness on the NQ personally on the daily chart, right? I don't know what all that is. I'll have to go over it with you alone. So, Crypto Billy, leverage classifier, wasn't it? See? I bet you learned so much, man. You would never have learned anywhere else. Only in the Lifer School. We got the best teachers in the game, man. My man, Master Friend. So blessed he owns it with us, baby. He comes through to the Lifer School, man. The Lifer School of Life. Thank you so much for a beautiful weekly live stream, too. What an amazing time it is to be alive with each and every one of you. I greatly appreciate it. 448 people on the live, 290 likes, $231 in chat revenue, 16 new members. People are so amazingly nice about the membership given. It's unreal. Sam, you've been getting into tokenized stocks utilizing BingX. Well, no, but we will be getting into them. And I actually am advising something right now. So we'll talk about that and we'll break it down. So Bitcoin, yeah, nothing left to say. 15-minute looking for the M pattern to short the 1 hour, right? Everybody? Unless we break out short squeeze. And we don't enter the short until we break this level and do a bearish retest. Or we come up and make the M. We don't enter the short now because we could be part of the squeeze. We don't want to be part of the squeeze. Okay? So we wait for the M pattern and the confirmation. The price action is pretty flat, so there you have it. And there's a chance we just sit here and the 1 hour resets. We sideways and we wake up tomorrow morning and we're just kind of like right here doing absolutely nothing, you know? So. No, I didn't forget about it. I just asked which one you wanted. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure which one you wanted, but now you said the perpetual, so we can get it in. No, but thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, look at the bigger time frame, the biggest time frame you can. 3-day chart has a major resistance here, right where you're at, and a bounce, double bottom a bit. See that channel? I mean, it definitely kind of cut that channel. Getting overbought. It could have one more push out. You'd want the retest. 3 days getting a little high. The daily's a little overbought too. Moving averages don't even have the 200 on the daily yet because of it. Yeah, about to get rejected by the 22 and then maybe call it a day. Like it could just be. This is like a rising wedge. They break down 68% of the time. You're starting to make one and get rejected. 4 hour has a little more room. See it. So what you're looking for is if you can break above the previous resistance and use it as support. Resistance, little wick there. So can you get above that key level, like above, what is it, 5.7? 5.7. And then you want to see a push all the way up to 6 and then some type of flag back down. And these key areas would be the retest I would want to be looking for a long. Otherwise, this thing looks bearish to me. So it's got to get back above that key level. You know, look for the 4 hour. It has gas. It could break out. The 1 hour says no way. It says it's going to start to dump. And if Bitcoin dumps, you're going to get the dump on key too. So just be careful. All right. Safest trade, in my humble opinion, is BLZ short. But anyone can do what you want tonight. You do whatever makes you happy. But to me, this is the safest trade. 1 hour is about to get overbought with bearish divergence of its own right here. As this swings down and that swings up. So you got bearish div right there. Really nice entry. Okay. And who knows, maybe it keeps ripping. You never know. I'm not a genius and not, 4 hours also getting overbought. The daily says it has room to pump. So that's not the best, actually. Daily could pump. But the daily has a massive bearish div right now. So to me, like, fine, pump a little more, but and you could try to say, all right, it's in this pattern now. Tempting to make another rising wedge here. But the 3 day to me is just too far away from its 21-day moving average and has to dump at one point. Has to come down. And there's a bearish div on the 3 day chart too. So to me, you know, a couple more little wicks up, but I'm building, what I like to do is build a small position first so I can't get stopped out. As that position starts to grow and gain momentum, I add to the position. So like this position's down $13, but it's $33, you know what I mean? And I can mitigate it too. Similar, you know, as this kind of moves, I can add $14. Now I'm only down, you know, I'll be down, what, 30% or something like that, because it'll be $50 in the trade down for, you know. So mitigate, and again, at the very least, I lose a very small amount, okay? A very small amount. So that way I'm not risking too much, all right? But this to me looks like eventually the short is going to play out. Now, liquidation is 14, so I could still possibly get liquidated too. We'll see. We'll see. But to me, over time, like in the next 5 or 6 days, like 10 days, you're going to see a move back down to this 21-day moving average, in my humble opinion. Now, maybe it gets one more huge spike up. Anything is possible, but it's unlikely. Same reason we played AKRO. Same reason we showed you this on gold yesterday. We showed you so many different assets, right? But the same ideas apply. Here's AKRO on MEXC. And we're saying, hey, you know, remind the watchers on 9/3. We said we would hit the 21 SMA on the 3-day chart. It's now 9/10, so it's been a week, right? Back here, we called it on 9/3 that this thing would drop on you. And this was, you know, and we can go back to the days. And so the day was right here, 1, 2, 3. And it even wicked up on 9. All right, so there you are there. On 9/4, it even wicked up, though, for even better entry. But look, I mean, look what a beautiful short that gave you. From 9/3, right? And all you had to know was that the 3-day was going to hit that 21 and just let it, you know, and just trust the downtrend. Find the divergence, see the space, and trust the downtrend. It's hard to do. Not everyone's going to be able to do it. We're going to watch BLZ likely do the same thing, but it's going to test the waters. It's going to test your strength, right? Lake House broadcast, I see it. I'm coming, man. I'm coming. I'm coming, man. Celebrate the first super chat from Bitmat. Another first super chat. New here. Thanks for all the love and vibrations. Can you look at XDC? Another first super chat. I really just can't believe the constant first super chats we're seeing here. Let's take a look at XDC. And I believe we're sufficient with what we've looked at today too as well. XDC mainnet, and it's on KuCoin. And I've been bullish on and off on this coin. We have put up some ideas here. So let's take a look. Last time we looked at it, let's take a look. I'm going to blow your mind. One of the last few times we looked at it, it had pumped nicely, right? What time to get out of the trade? When, right? When it got too far away from the white line, the 21, and the stochastics were high. I'm giving away, like I keep saying this every day, and soon everyone's going to be like, damn, we know. I shouldn't do this because I'm teaching. I'm going to make it too easy for people to learn how to trade without an indicator. You know what I mean? My DXY has a gap from 105.50 to 105.90. Is it really what I'm seeing? What could that mean, actually? I have no idea. Anyone have an experience with cards like MELDFI or something similar? No. Giants are getting smoked right now. Holy cow. Wow. The Giants seem to have always been horrible, you know? They got lucky in those 2 Super Bowls. I don't know how they beat us. Such BS. Man. But yeah, I mean, that's when you start to see some movement, at least you hit the 21. But like I said before too, you usually come back a little lower too. So you pull the fib on this. But I'm telling you, man, my new thing is just to short any coin that's high on the 3-day away from the 21. And I'm just going to short them and just make tons of money. I'm going to turn from the most bullish trader ever to the most bearish trader ever. It's weird. My style. Everyone's like, Sam's been shorting all the time recently. And I really have. If you look at the gains that I've been posting, I've been shorting. So let's look at some of the gains I posted. So there's one there. And eventually it was a bigger gain, right? Someone hit a short today too for BLZ. 84%. So many gains, I don't even know if I can find my own in here. So many. 3,000%, 450%, 430%, 1,000%. Crazy. He lost, but he flipped it back to 12. Mitigated, 894, 648, just gains. 32%, 9%, 1,200%, 3,000%, but even 100, I mean, that's crazy, $100 though. Pretty awesome. That's like mitigation status. So I probably, you can't even find mine. Well, there's one there. Up here, oh yeah. Anyway. Wow. So many gains in a week, it's insane. You guys are crazy. I don't post my gains all the time in here. That's what I thought I did. I'm like, yeah. Plain gains. Waiting for the plane. $40 to $90, you know, shorting cyber. Like, just crazy, man. Anyway. Shout out to everybody in the trading group. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. It's been amazing. So XDC, I could see some more downside coming just to kind of get that fib fed. You know? You'll have like this bigger falling wedge here. Come to that 220. You want the 200 on the daily for that real, like, that's how you know you're really going for it, you know? And so just see if the 4 hour and the 1 hour want to play ball. All right. 4 hour wants to pump, but let the 1 hour do its thing first. 1 hour's a little overbought. And again, look at some key areas. I'll redraw this again. I'm always open-minded. My last resort for this is if I'm wrong and it breaks above this resistance here, even this POC. So look for XDC to get back above 5.9, and that would, boom, that could be a really good place for a retest. All right. But it's likely to probably find some type of resistance here and then break back down to the bottom of the pattern. Hit that 200 on the daily and then be a really good buy on the 618, 786 fib level. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. I am jumping on out for the night. It is 9:38. May God bless each and every one of you. We went over Bitcoin on the weekly close. We went over all the different levels to look at. We looked at ES1, S&P futures, the DXY. We are ready for tomorrow morning. If you ask me, I see some bullish signs. I see some bearish signs, and I'm ready for each. And I know exactly how I want to trade Bitcoin later on tonight. If I do want to open up a short or long, I highly won't. I made a good trade today on a Sunday, which I usually don't trade on Sunday. It just played out. So I don't think I should overtrade or go into that. The only thing I'm building is just the beginning of a BLZ short, and that's about it. You know what I mean? And we'll see where that goes. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. May God bless you all, and I'll see you tomorrow for a beautiful live stream in the morning as we begin our week, Monday, 10 a.m., and Monday through Friday. I don't know how we did it again. Another insane week from week to week, baby. And we started off again. God's day, man. I hope you had a good time with your kids. I always spend a lot of time with my kids on Sunday. I love my kids. And may God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the dream and the movement. I'll see you tomorrow. Crypto is life, baby. Thank you. God bless you all, and I'll see you for another beautiful live stream tomorrow. Thank you so much. Gratitude is my attitude before I go to bed every single night. If you want to join the trading group, remember we have links to the trading group right here. Bang, hit that. Links to MEXC. We're trading here on MEXC. That's where we're taking profits. That's where we're moving P&L. That's where you're moving your stop loss on screen. You can move your stop loss up and down. Really fun and easy. It makes it like a video game trading. Also, you know, you got to know what you're doing. Nothing's actually easy, but they make it accessible and simple, I should say that. And it's really, for me, the best place to trade futures, and really shows you what's happening. So may God bless everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in. And they even have demo trading. You can go here down to hit demo trading, and you'll see the word demo trading will be down there on the right side while you're trading. You can tell the difference. Like if you're not trading, there's no demo trading. If you are, they'll say demo trading right there. It will be light, but you'll see it. You'll still see it. See it right there, demo trading. Okay. Might even be a slightly different color. I don't know. Oh yeah, I didn't add indicators yet, but. And why do I have indicators? Just go up here, hit FX, write in RSI, and I slap in the relative and the stochastics and give me a pretty good reading as to what's kind of going down. Like that's pretty overbought. That's likely going to have some challenges. You're looking for some bearish div now, and then you want to see if you can come back down to the bottom of the pattern. If you lose the 200 SMA, you're going to fall even more. And so I'm already kind of setting myself up to see what could happen here for BLZ. Everyone, I love you all. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow for a beautiful live stream. And I'm buying more Gala, man. Hey, do what you got to do to serve that to get to, no, I'm just, but if you want more Gala, grab more Gala, man. And yeah, everyone in the trading group, I'm not going to post tons of coins. I don't post tons of stuff on Sunday night into Monday morning. Yeah, I love you all. May God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day, and may you have a beautiful, beautiful night and good morning when I see you in the morning. Thank you so much for everything. God bless.